the last harvest of Willow Creek. In the late 1800s, in a small American village called Willow Creek, life moved slowly. The village had dirt roads, wooden barns, horses instead of cars, and neighbors who treated each other like family. At the center of the village stood Old Miller's farm, the biggest wheat farm in the whole county. Old Miller wasn't just a farmer. He was the heartbeat of the town. For 30 years, Miller's farm fed the whole village. Every summer, golden fields danced in the wind, and every winter, the townspeople gathered inside his barn for warm meals. But one year, everything began to fall apart. The rain didn't come. The soil dried. The wheat turned yellow before it could grow tall. The villagers worried. Willow Creek had always depended on Miller's harvest. If the crops failed, families would starve. Businesses would shut down. The village would collapse. Old Miller never showed fear. He always said, "The land gives back to those who respect it." But deep inside, he was terrified. One evening, as Miller walked through his dying fields, he noticed a stranger leaning on the fence, a man with dusty boots, an old hat, and eyes full of stories. "I'm Isaac Reed," the stranger said softly. "I used to be a farmer, too. Heard you might need help." Miller didn't trust strangers easily, but something about Isaac's calm voice felt familiar, almost hopeful. Isaac examined the soil, touched the wheat, looked at the sky. Finally he said, "Your land isn't dying. It's just thirsty in ways you can't see. Let me help." With no options left, for weeks, Isaac and Miller worked in secret, digging new irrigation trenches, clearing old roots, moving stones. Sometimes they worked until moonlight covered the fields. Villagers whispered, "Why is the old man working with a stranger? Where did this Isaac even come from? Can they save the farm?" Even Miller's daughter Sarah was suspicious until she saw how respectfully Isaac treated the land. He moved like someone who understood nature deeply. Slowly, Sarah began to trust him. One night, dark clouds gathered over Willow Creek. Thunder rolled across the sky. Then, for the first time in months, rain began to fall. At first, a drizzle, then a steady shower, then a full storm soaking the soil, filling the new trenches they had built. Villagers ran outside cheering. Miller looked at Isaac and whispered, "Maybe you were sent here." Isaac just smiled. Weeks passed. The wheat grew taller and thicker than ever before. The golden fields returned, brighter than in any previous year. And when harvest season came, it was the biggest harvest Willow Creek had ever seen. The whole town helped. Children carried baskets. Women cooked meals. Men cut wheat from sunrise to sunset. For 3 days, the village celebrated like never before. Miller raised his cup and shouted, "To the man who saved Willow Creek, Isaac Reed!" But Isaac didn't stand up. Instead, he quietly walked outside. Sarah followed him to the edge of the field. "Why are you leaving? This is your victory, too," she asked. Isaac looked at the horizon. "I used to have a farm," he said slowly. "Back in the drought of '72, I couldn't save it. Lost my land, lost my family. Since then, I've wandered, helping any farmer who might lose what I lost." Sarah's eyes softened. "So, you're a guardian of farms?" Isaac chuckled. "Just a man trying to repay the earth." Before dawn the next morning, Isaac was gone, leaving only his hat hanging on Miller's fence. Years passed. Willow Creek became known as the most fertile village in the region. Farmers visited from faraway towns to learn the secret method of saving crops during droughts. Miller always said he learned it from a stranger who appeared when the land was dying and disappeared when the village was safe. They never saw Isaac again. But every harvest season, Sarah placed wildflowers near the fence where Isaac left his hat. And every year, without fail, rain arrived right on time. Willow Creek survived because of teamwork, hope, and the wisdom of a wandering farmer who carried his past like a shadow and his kindness like a gift. The village still says, "Some heroes don't stay. They just pass through when you need them most."